This is the last Tuesday of the year. It's 10 a.m., December 30th, I think, the day before New Year's Eve. And we are talking about, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions or anything like that, but like, how can we improve ourselves? Because the driver's on the way. How can we improve ourselves? And, when we pray to God every day and we forgive us for our sins.
I'll finish what he started. We were praying as we do every day, or try to do every day. We're not perfect. But I realized how many times we say, forgive us for our sin. So I just felt like we should really understand what we're asking God for. And I asked if he knew about the 7 deadly sins. Like, what are they? Like, what are we asking for forgiveness for? Just sins with an S. So now it's plural. It's like more than one. So I'm like, what exactly are we asking for forgiveness for? Because when you be specific, it's just like ChatGPT. It's going to give you some generic answers, right? Some generic solutions. But when you become very specific about what you're asking for forgiveness for, God wants you to say that out loud, not just in your mind, not keep it a secret. You don't want nobody to know. Actually, literally tell your partner, tell God what it is that you want forgiveness for. And that way y'all can actually work on it. Or who knows who else is hearing you say that, and they might come to you with a solution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the 7 deadly sins, do y'all know what they are?
You can read them off.
Okay, let's read them off. The 7 deadly sins are a traditional classification of major vices within Christian teaching that lead to other sins and immoral behavior. They were first enumerated by Pope Gregory I in the 6th century and later elaborated upon by St. Thomas. The standard list of the 7 deadly sins, I'm just going to say all of them before breaking them down. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. So once we really realize what the major sins are, I was like, okay, let's pick one that we're going to repent for 2026. And I don't really do the whole yearly thing either, but if we're going to keep asking God for forgiveness, I feel like we should literally work on that for 2026. So I chose lust.
Well, you want to define them, right?
Let's define them. Let's get into it. So the first one, pride, is an excessive belief in one's own abilities or importance, without regard for God's grace or the contributions of others. It is often considered the root of all the other sins. Greed, an intense and insatiable desire for material possessions or wealth, ignoring spiritual needs. Lust is a disordered or excessive desire for sexual pleasure, often reducing others to objects of personal gratification. Envy is a selfish sadness at the prosperity of others, often accompanied by a desire for their misfortune or possess their blessings. Gluttony, overindulgence in food, drink, or other worldly pleasures, representing a lack of self-control.
That can include smoking.
Worldly pleasures, drinking, smoking,
consuming
worldly,
for the most part.
Exactly. We could say social media, right? It's overindulgence.
Right.
Wrath, which I was kind of balancing between envy and wrath. It's uncontrolled feeling of anger hatred, and a desire for vengeance that distorts justice. And finally, sloth. They say it's a spiritual apathy or laziness, a failure to act and utilize one's own talents, often stemming from a distaste for spiritual goods or a neglect of duties. Each of these sins has a corresponding virtue that can help to overcome it, such as humility for pride, charity for greed, patience for wrath. And we could talk about those too, because that's going to help us repent, right? So,
Oh, that's a ChatGPT definition?
I mean, that was from the internet, but of course, AI is now like,
Okay,
it's
so
an AI overview.
I did want to preface this video by saying it's not a religious thing. This is not even a religious topic, but these are just basic principles that humans like sort of live by, whether you're religious or not. So I should have started the video off with that so that y'all don't, think this is something else. But it also applies like your everyday life, who you are as a person could affect how you are in business, since I mostly post and talk about business stuff. But overall, when she was asking me my question of what I would let go for the, moving forward for the rest of my life, regardless of the new year, just like, what am I dead serious about as far as something I would say like sin wise? Right, because I'm not perfect, right? So I said procrastination, and then I had to really we had to define it and look it up, and we were like, okay, that falls under the category of sloth, like laziness and like putting off things that you can do till it's later, and I'm trying to get better at that. Anything that I could do today, I shouldn't be putting off till later. Even right now, as we speak, it's 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and all my, my people just checking in. Like my VAs are just clocking in for the day. I really should send them a Zoom link. And there's another guy said he was trying to call me for a consultation breakdown. Whatever I could do now, and I have so much temptation to go out and explore. Oh, we're in Colombia. We want to have a good time. There's work that still needs to get done. But even throughout the entire year, I look at my goals. Did I hit my goals and the XYZ, this and that? What could I be doing on a daily basis? I think about that nonstop, and it actually keeps me up at night. But that's the one thing I feel like I definitely want to improve upon and get better at. Now, on the list, and then so that was my thing that I chose, and then she chose lust.
Yeah, so let's just remind you that sloth is not utilizing your talent. So when you literally just, like you said, you just sit around and not do anything or keep putting it off, you're not acting on what you could be doing, right?
What I'm capable of.
And then that keeps you up at night because it's like, well, I could have did this, and that, but you didn't.
Right. So we can go into detail on why we're choosing our things, but she was like, okay, now we got to choose one for each other. So let me see the list again.
Okay.
Because I was like, damn, we both need work, we both need work. But for you, oh, man.
Wait, let me just say this, right? The reason why I asked him to pick one for me and I picked one for him, because we have that introspection where we kind of know our weaknesses, right? Even if we try to hide them or not talk about them, but internally we know what our weakness is, but also externally, he could see a blind spot, right? He could probably say something that I'm thinking I'm good at, but it's you should probably work on that.
Right.
So
overall, when we read these definitions, I was definitely seeing some of the things in your personality. Oh, you can work on that. You can work. I can just, what I'm saying? Pick 3 right away.
3? Okay, let's pick more than one for each other.
Well, we can start off with one because baby steps, right? Okay. I would say, I almost wanted to say that wrath, uncontrolled feelings of anger and hatred and desire for vengeance that distorts justice.
But see, that was my second option.
That was your second option.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Because if I had to go in order, it's when you get upset, it's it says uncontrolled feelings. It didn't stop there. There's no comma, it's no period, but it says uncontrolled feelings of anger and hatred.
But you want to know something? I'm gonna just pause you right there. When I was sitting at the table and we were kind of like going over the business stuff,
Right.
I was controlling my anger. You didn't even know. Well, for a different reason. Like, you thought I was mad at something else, but I was really trying to control my anger. And I was like, it's not the time and the place, Crystal. Like, time and place. Time and place.
The whole time I'm thinking like, I was like, how did your mood even change? I'm like, we're talking about this, but it's just like the things that trigger you. And then you say things that can trigger me, and I just have to laugh it off like, ha, 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 ha. No, like, we're on the different pages or whatever. Like, end of the day.
Okay, so Ralph is my second. Before I pick one for you, what would be your second option other than Sloth?
My second option for me? Huh.
Because we were kind of already going to work on the main one, and then we had one that we should have picked, and then we're going to pick one for each other.
Well, you pick one for me second, and then I'll tell you which I think my second option is.
Okay, so you think I should work on wrath. Okay, let me see.
Because this one, it's very specific on the uncontrolled feelings of anger, but I even want to say when you upset, just uncontrolled feelings in general, because you can't not make decisions with emotions, like from an emotional place. Like, you got to just use complete logic. I think people get further when they're able to park their emotions to the side, even temporarily. But go ahead.
Yours was Sloth. That was your number one thing. I also think you should work on, funny enough, and it's not even for anything other than the way you scroll on social media sometimes.
So my second one would be
Gluttony. Overindulgence of other worldly pleasures. Even that goes to say with the women, with the girls. You're like, oh, you know, I'm just looking like it's fine. I'm like, but you have me, so now you just want excessive, like you just want more and more and more, and I'm just like what am I here for? Like, I look good.
You look amazing. Yeah, for sure.
So the social media, the girls, you don't smoke, you don't drink, like you really take good care of yourself. It's just like those small little tweaks.
Yeah, that's something I definitely want to work on, as far as like I deleted Instagram this morning, even though I'm about to go out on the town and I got whatever. And I'm even like, while we have some quiet time before the driver pulls up, thinking to myself like, sheesh, like, okay, so many thoughts are coming 100 miles per hour. From one moment to the next, like, our driver's pretty cool, but there's some moments where we're getting close, like, oh my God, the car can fit through there, whatever. There's this famous boxer who just beat Jake Paul. His best friend just died instantly in a car crash, terrible. And I'm just thinking like, man, I gotta post. I just did the 4x4s, the horses. Like, I gotta post all these moments, like, because then you see the dead people. They're like their last social media post, like from their stories, like landing at the airport, luggage, about to have a good time. It's like, these moments that I want to just put out there, even for myself. Why do I say that? That's what comes to mind. Like, okay, but my issue with social media, I've recognized my social media addiction. I have the blue check mark, whatever. I've determined, I've made a promise to myself to post a bare minimum of 1 time a day. I was instructed, I even paid to learn that I should be posting 2 to 3 times a day and whatever, just be consistent and your account's gonna grow. So I do that as a duty. I do that as a non-negotiable in my life, to post on social media. But scrolling, oh my goodness, like, it's like, I remember the richest week of my life. I would say like the most interesting couple weeks of my life, when I was like really like surrounded by actual wealth. Like, I was barely on social media. Like, I was flexing a little bit, like posting here and there, but I could literally go days without touching my phone for real, unless I actually needed to make a phone call. Like, my life was literally a movie. It was like surreal. I was enjoying every last moment, or even just anticipating the next moment. I was barely getting sleep. That's how excited I was. Or partially, I was the unit I was moving with. I say all that to say this: when it comes to social media, like, you tend to scroll when you're trying to fill some sort of void, or like it comes from boredom. But we're in Colombia eating at a nice restaurant, but like, we all know where scrolling comes from, but like doom scrolling, like it's like the slot machine. Like we've been trained and programmed or whatever, but once in a while I will delete the app from my phone. Even my homies recommended an app that will limit my time on Instagram, period. Sometimes I get inspired by certain things, but inspiration and motivation is like smoke. It comes and goes. It doesn't mean nothing. It's not worth much. But you're either consuming content or you're producing content. And at the end of the day, I want to work on more producing the content. Part of going with my first thing is like, whatever I could do today, don't put it off till tomorrow. Be the producer, not the consumer. That's something so it's like, that's something that is a struggle for me. And that's why I even, wanted to get her to manage my social media and do all the posting. Still to this day, trying to find a video editor that'll just edit all my stuff. I just live my life, be the producer, and just post. So see how long-winded I was about that? Like, I do have an issue with that, and that's something I want to get better at as well. Less time on social media, but it's part of the way my business is. I got to promote myself. I do have to promote my business and promote the lifestyle. Like, I even study my competitors, peers. I don't even want to call them competitors, the people that are in the same space. And I'm like really studying, like, oh, it's just Lambo iced out watch, iced out bracelet. And they're not really posting the flyers like I'm posting, like, hey, come shop with me, this and that. It's mostly like content, like, boom, lifestyle, nice meal. It's like programming. It's like, am I a peer, or is like, this is how they're getting their clients? It's like, so it helps me like brainstorm even the type of person that I want to be. But overall, we're having a discussion about the things. So you're saying gluttony. I can agree with that for sure. You're saying lust. I say anger. That's and for me, you say gluttony, and I'm saying sloth and procrastination.
Well, that's the same thing though. So you have to pick another one. Sloth.
Gluttony, they're different categories.
So
priority, my priority is sloth. Your priority for me is gluttony, overindulgence. And then you were getting into the women and stuff, like me looking at other women, just staring or whatever. Like, that idea is like, it's another podcast conversation, longer conversation, that we even talked about. We have even recording and stuff like that. So it's like, I compare it to like, this one of the things is like reducing people to an object, right? It has to do with like lust. That's a different topic. But like the idea of like admiring God's creation, all woman, this and that. Like, I admire this woman right here. Absolutely beautiful, right? And then, but like the thing about women is like, oh, different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different like movements, mannerisms, like, and it's just, there's a curiosity there that stems from when I was younger and just thinking women are beautiful, right? But as far as limitations on that, right, is like, that's something I would have to work on, because it's just like, to me, the way my brain, it's more about how my brain works, how I've been programmed to just find something attractive. Oh, that's a nice car. Boom. It's like, boom. Am I looking further than that? It's not that deep, but it could be. It could be a problem. It could be a slippery slope, because there's some men that's just like, I only have eyes for my women. Those niggas are liars. Honestly, it's like, a woman catch your eye, cool. But it's just like, it's more so like, whatever you're doing, if you're addressing them with your mind, they say that's almost the same as like fucking them as well. Like, if you're addressing them with your mind, you're like, that's where it goes deep into that lust category, is like, you're lusting after them, where it's just like, I can admire a woman just for the, like, even fitness, the idea of like, oh, she's fit. Like, like, wow, like, if she more fit than me, like, whatever, what does she do to earn that shape, whatever. Sometimes my curiosity would be like there too, like, but I look at that as like some sort of entertainment, but not as harmless. But then if she feels a way about it, it's like, then it does become harmless. Then it does become like, damn, coming from when I was younger, our generation, like, a lot of girls even find girls attractive. And then I adopted this belief like girls are just so beautiful, even girls are not immune to the beauty of other women. So I'm like, okay, it's innocent. Girls be taking pictures, their lips close together, just kissing, whatever cheek, like really touchy feely, like all of that, the girly girl stuff. Like, so I don't want to have that conversation now, but something I could work on. And there's not a day that goes by that I brainstorm like, what would that look like for me to drop like all the quote unquote fantasies of being the next Dan Brazilian. You know what I mean? Hugh Hefner is cool, but like new school guys like Dan Brazilian, whatever, I don't know. Future? No, I don't really. Future's just funny lyrically, but like, you know what I mean? Like the whole rapper lifestyle image type of thing. It's appealing. It is what it is. Like I said, longer conversation, but in order of what I want to work on is definitely procrastinating to become the best version of myself and live out my true purpose. You know what I mean?
So did we ever pick the other one?
Yeah, Sloth and then Gluttony. I want to like make enough money to not really need to touch my phone for real. Like maybe if I figure out this software, you know, dial in my ads. I'll still have to communicate with people on social media, but like I really, in a perfect world, would just outsource my social media presence.
Here's my take on what you just said.
Go ahead.
I'm not saying delete social media. Like what is that? We're in 2025 going into 2026. Who's deleting social media? That's literally the way it's a privilege to connect with each other. So how does it make you feel, quick question, to delete Instagram? Like what does that do for you?
I'm present. I'm in, like I said, the most interesting week of my life. I was barely posting. I posted the private jet, this and that. Like I would try and get the moments, but like there was like I remember when my first time on a private jet. Not to switch the subject or nothing, but I didn't post it. Like I was just living. I was so in it. I was like, I'm living. Like I'm living. I'm present in every moment. Like I'm present. Like to be scrolling on social media, it's like you're worried about what somebody else is doing. Before social media existed, like before Snapchat specifically, because I did imagine the idea, like I wonder what my favorite singer is doing right now, like beautiful singers that I would like just admire. I wonder what she's doing right now. Hopefully she's not in the bathroom, but like no, like what is she? Is she on a boat? Is she just recording, petting her cats, right? And then Snapchat existed, and then Instagram stories. Like I would imagine stuff like that. And when I was younger, I used to go on. I think it was like something. Oh, man, I wish I had a richkids.com. It was like this website. You know, this is before Tumblr. I would literally just Google and search for rich stuff like yachts, billionaires, but whatever I can find just to lay eyes on it, see how much things cost, Bugattis. Like this is when I was like 12, 13, middle school, like literally before Tumblr, before Instagram, and then so it's like just literally obsessed with the idea of what are wealthy people up to right now? What are the famous people up to right now as we speak? Like, can I get like a sneak peek of that, right? And now in the future, it's like, bow. It's like all in your face. That's all you see. And now it's like half the people aren't actually rich. They can just keep up with the appearance of appearing rich and that perception.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can almost call that fronting, which we do call that fronting in Chicago. Like, oh, he fronting. But remember when we learned about fronting from the master class, which is if you mirror somebody or you mimic somebody, well, fronting is actually just making sure you position like angled with them so there's a connection there, right? But if we're trying to front with a rich person, we're gonna be in there looking in their direction. So like you said, looking them up, like researching and figuring out what are they doing right now, because that puts us in that alignment. Like, okay, they're doing this, this, and this, and what am I doing? Now you're gonna mirror that so that way you can, but if you don't understand the deeper, the why of why they're doing it, like why is she sitting like that? Why is her back so tall? Why, like, and why am I fidgeting? Like, you have to know the whys behind it, right? So why does a Bugatti cost that much? And it could be the material, the design, it could be where it's being shipped out from, things like that, right? The scarcity of whatever they're doing. So the why behind it is what we need to be focused on, not so much the image themselves. So if you scroll on social media, and like, I think you told me, like, okay, if you're going to scroll on social media, you told me this, you need to be taking notes.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just going to go, you're just going to be like in this constant loop of like, oh, what are they doing? Okay, what are they doing? Okay. And then you're still stuck in your same position because you're not taking notes. You're not like looking at their verbiage or who are they hanging around? Where are they, right? Location, things like that, right? So if you're going to scroll on social media, just as like sometimes you could do it to like, as entertainment, like you said, right? And some people actually have separate pages. They have a business page and they have another page to where they can scroll and look at stuff and it doesn't really mess with their algorithm on what's actually important.
Yeah.
Right? Because I have multiple pages. I have a page where I follow almost 7,000 people because I want to see what are the masses doing? What music are they listening to? What's trending right now? What are people talking about? Because I'm in my own little box of where it's like I only follow entrepreneurs, business owners, like millionaires, billionaires. And I can't mingle that together because then the algorithm isn't going to know what to serve me, right? So I think for you, I learned about this rule. It's called 10-10-80 or 10-80-10, whatever, however they put it. 10% is you doing what you're doing now, which is creating the SOPs
Right.
and things like that.
Right.
80% is you're delegating that 80% to the crew, to the team, to do that 10% that you just worked on. You designed this shit. So you did the research, you know what you want, you did that work. Now you're going to hand it off. And then the next 10%, the last 10%, is just you reviewing what the 80% of the work that was done, like what is that? Right. So you do it, get somebody else to finish it, and then you just kind of look over it to see how that was done. So I think you should just apply that, which I think you kind of already do in a sense. Maybe you didn't like when people start putting names to stuff, it really like, then you know, actually this is what I did and it worked and why it worked. So you know you did the SOPs, you know you did all of the platforms and stuff like that, you set that up, and now you're having somebody monitor your social media. They're doing 80% of the work, which is posting, engaging, following people, whatever like that, right? So you don't necessarily have to do it. But if you do go on social media and you can look at your profile and see, okay, this was good, that was good. You know what I'm saying? Or even look at your explore page to see, because I think that's a big part of social media is make sure you're following the right people. Like put me on, because that takes a lot of effort to figure out who's who in the space and like who to trust, who not to trust, things like that. So
yeah, you can learn a lot about a person by who they follow. You can even predict the amount that's in their bank account based off of who they follow. If it's less than 1,000, because it's like their timeline, were they actually scrolling? Are they watching sports all day? Like even people that sports bet and make money off of sports, they're not even watching sports all day. Like, so it's like you just want to know stats and then have small talk with beers, like talking about who scored this point and this and that, who lost this and that. I mean, that's cool, but hopefully you're rich already if you got time to talk about sports. Because damn, but like, well, what else? Or like my other Instagram where like I'm very interested in what's going on in the music industry, right? So what's going on in the music industry or who's dating who or gossip or this and that, like there's pure entertainment that you're going to get from knowing all that stuff, because it's like, oh, wow, this person did what's it called? If we're speaking about recent events, it's like, man, the guy's not really cheated on and did NBA young boy take his girl like and buy her the G-Wagon or whatever? All that shit it is pure entertainment. It does nothing for you. It's nothing for you, right? It is nothing to consume that information. But there are those moments in time where, well, it depends on the type of personality you have. If you're locked in all the way, like you're not wasting a minute of your time. But like if you are like working, being a productive person, not just busy working, but like if you're putting in that work, there are moments where you're going to want your mind you're going to want to do mindless activities, like consume that sort of content, which is like a little bit of gossip or there and here, whatever, just knowing what's going on in the world. Some people use the news, which is absolute trash and garbage, like want to know about world events and politics and all that stuff. Does nothing for you, right? So to consume that type of content, or even Netflix, even relaxing and watching Netflix and watching a movie, mindless activities, there's obviously a desire and a craving for that. And even every human being, I would say, wants to be able to just sit on their ass and just whatever, not think about work. And that's why even today, like, we woke up on time but we're out the country for a few more days. We want to enjoy ourselves, and we're just lucky that the taxi's not here yet. He's over there picking them up, and then we'll ride out. But I was like, it's so peaceful and quiet. Yeah, we hear the traffic a little bit, but the vibes there's no excuse not to just lock in, get some work done, which I'm about to turn the camera off and get a little bit done before they really pull up. We're brainstorming breakfast right now so we can just really have the energy for the day. What am I really trying to say? I'm really trying to say we are struggling between, do we want to enjoy ourselves or do we want to get some real work done? Do we really want to get some real work done? And trying to balance that out. That is a balance that happens on a daily basis. When you're an entrepreneur, you're not tied to a set schedule. There's nowhere, if you clock in late, blah, 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 5 minutes late, this and that. One, I got to show up for my staff. Like, I usually send a Zoom link 10 a.m. on the dot weekdays. Like, I hold my staff accountable to say good morning. That's why we even have a consistency contest. Like, you have 5 minutes to say good morning. You have a chance to win $1,000, right? So it's like, as an entrepreneur, you can still set a schedule, have your standards, and be disciplined, because the most important thing in life is discipline, and consistency proves that you are disciplined. That's it, right? So those are some of the things. Like this is like a interesting episode where it's like we started out talking about like what are the bad habits.
Did you ever pick your second choice? Because I chose gluttony for you.
Yeah, that's definitely my second choice.
So that's why I asked you, so I could pick another one.
That's definitely my second choice. Like, if I can if we can literally, when you came into my life, is to help me outsourcing my online social media presence in all aspects, and you're supposed to manage every social media platform. That's what you're really supposed to do, right? So never missing a day.
You want me to be the glutton instead of you being the glutton? No, I'm just kidding. But okay, so if that's your second choice, that's why I act like you should probably say your second option so I don't choose that one. Because if you're conscious of that, then I want to give you the next one.
Those are my two.
The next one, I would say, don't feel no kind of way.
Of course not. This is an honest and transparent conversation. That's why I was like, this is an interesting episode. If y'all like transparency and realness and these raw conversations, like, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, keep going.
And then somebody said too, like, if you feel some kind of way, I can't think of the word for it, but like, if you feel attacked, then like, never feel attacked.
If the shoe fits, wear it. But yeah, never wear it. Yeah.
Anyways, I would say greed. And let me tell you why. An intense or insatiable desire for material possessions or wealth. That goes back to even you wanting to know, like, what are they doing? Because I want, who doesn't want to be like a millionaire, a billionaire, right? Everybody's thought of that, right? But it's like an intense, like, you watch these people who are highly successful so much, and it's just like, it's not even really envy, because I don't think you like wish bad on nobody or to possess their blessings. Like, you want what they have and they don't have it. I don't think that's you. That's why I said greed, which is like, you just want this over the top amount of wealth. And I'm kind of concerned, because it's like, what about the little things? Like, what about just, like shit you don't have to pay for or require money? Like, I don't like seeing you swap your car for everything. I don't like seeing you be like, okay, like sitting there calculating the numbers and looking at all the numbers and where's the money going. Like, I get it. Like, you want to be, I think we made a post about that, like 100K is comfortable. I used to think 100K was a fucking lot of money.
It's actually the new poverty level.
Exactly.
You need 140 to feel like you're making 40,000 a year. Like 40,000. So what 100,000 buys you, like 10 years ago, is like 40K. Like, so it's like no, so it's vice versa. I seen a post recently, it was like a meme. Pretty much they're saying like in order to feel like you're 40,000,
Like,
you need 140,000. Right?
Because you need room for error and
there's just no like just inflation.
Too.
Like the cost of stuff is going up. I got an appointment in 10 minutes. So it's like overall, to respond to what you just said, looking at numbers has to be a thing of the past. Like I have to get to that point. I'm not looking at the numbers. And I kind of got to that point, but not really. No. I like to say my new favorite word of this year is steward. Like, gotta be a good steward of your money. Like, keep your eye on your money. I keep a lot of spreadsheets for a reason. Like, I am my own accountant for right now.
But also, not to cut you off.
First camera overheated. We're gonna pick up where we left off. We're gonna let this cool down. I got a call in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna keep the time, actually 3 minutes. So my phone should automatically ring, but we want to wrap this up. When it comes to the numbers, you were going to say something.
If you want to be financially stable, the first thing we should do is track the numbers, right? But when does it become excessive? When does it become too much? Like, it's taking up too much of your time. And when do we just trust God? That's what I was just going to go into. Like, yes, we want to have success and wealth, but the spiritual side, I feel like when we ignore that and we lean so much on our logic, like our way of thinking, it can kind of hinder us in a sense. Not to say that what you're doing is wrong. Like, I want to learn how to look at my numbers too, but I also want to balance that with just like, okay, even if I do overspend a little bit, especially if it's on something that could bring us even more like value, like it's okay. Like, it's not gonna like kill us. Like, we're fine. It's just, we just spent a little bit more, right? But as long as we spent it on something that's actual, I don't know how to like explain it. Like, it's just a value for real. It's not something that it's in, you know how you say it's an impulsive buy or something like that. So it's like this hat, right? This hat is an asset. Okay, it was for my sister, but I'm like, damn, this hat look good. And it's helping us feel comfortable, like make the content, we look stylish.
Well, we didn't want to forget where we left off on, but we'll probably even switch up the location. Our taxi's probably gonna come up anytime, and then they're really gonna be waiting on us. So we're gonna segue this. This is part one. We're gonna wrap up this conversation, probably in the living room or whatever, because my phone's about to ring for this appointment. But stay tuned. We're gonna segue into the next part two of this same conversation.